Be careful. You might learn something.
Let's go.
You are now tuned in to the Factual Opinions Podcast with your hosts. I am Pharaoh. Straight facts.
What's up, world? Factual Opinions Podcast. Back in the place to be. This is season 2, episode 15. And this is the DerMarr Johnson episode. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how I are about my special guest intros that we got to get done. Yes, but first, let me introduce myself. I am Pharaoh, your host, flanked by the Brown Bruce Wayne, Big John.
Yes, sir.
And Will West, the best Nate.
You know it.
And first of all, you know, it's a pleasure anytime we have a special guest. We got a living legend in the building.
For sure.
First of all, this is the 1999 National Parade Magazine High School Player of the Year. He went on to the University.
They don't even remember that.
They don't, but that's why we're doing this. He went on to the University of Cincinnati and played on what was arguably the most talented team in school history. Spent 12 weeks ranked number 1. He was the Conference USA Player of the Year in 2000. Mm-hmm. Went on to be the number 6 overall pick in the NBA draft by the Atlanta Hawks. This man has done everything that you can do from a basketball standpoint. He went overseas. He came back to the NBA, persevered after some personal circumstances, played with whoever, Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony, of course, his college teammate, the great Kenyon Martin, even Ruben Patterson, I believe, played out there in Denver. Yep. Big Three competitor, you know, played in Ice Cube's league. Three's a company, right?
Three's company.
Three's a company. Oh, man. Now he is currently the University of Cincinnati men's basketball director of player development. We are sitting here with the great DerMarr Johnson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to throw the disclaimer out there, just get it out the way. You are my favorite UC basketball player, so I'm very excited.
I appreciate
to be sitting right here right now, man.
That means a lot. We've had some great players come through there.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
That means a lot. I was there 1 year.
And Brotha DJ,
and 1 year. 1 year.
1 year, he's still a Bearcat legend. You know,
1 year.
Highest composite recruit ever, I believe, in UC history.
Yep.
I believe so.
Because we had a lot of players that came there and became stars. Be it Kenyon, Nick Van Exel, Ruben Patterson, the game.
Yep.
But I think you and the Big O were the only ones that stepped on campus with the expectation from day one. So we appreciate you stopping by, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
So, right out the gate, before we kind of backtrack on your time at UC and what you're doing currently there, it's not often that we get to have somebody that played the game at the highest level in the NBA to help us recap. As you know, I hit you up on Facebook when you said who you got in the finals. Yeah. And I said, I think it's going to be Golden State at 6 games. Yeah. I predicted that correctly. So Nate's Boston Celtics went down in 6 games to the Golden State Warriors.
I was 1 game off. I said 7. I tried to get the young boys a shot. I was 1 game off.
Yeah. So from your perspective, what kind of made that series go in that direction for Golden State? What did you see as like a key turning point?
Andrew Wiggins, he turned it to Kawhi Leonard. That was the big thing for me because Boston, they're so good defensively. And they made it hard. Like, Steph was having some good games, but Steph was having to make incredible shots.
That boy was tired.
Yeah.
He was tired. Yeah, and then he was tired early.
I forget which game it was. Maybe it was game 4. Steph wasn't having a great game.
Yeah, his feet wasn't up under him.
Yeah.
Wiggins went off.
Strapping up on Tatum. He hitting tough mid-range. He not just hitting the open threes.
Tatum didn't score on him at all.
Yeah. Andrew Wiggins stepping up how he did was what Golden State needed. That's what put him over the top for me.
For sure.
Yeah, because your Celtics were up 2 games to 1.
Yeah, I know. No. You ain't gotta throw that out there. That ain't necessary. But no, like I think I was telling Al, I was like, no, he couldn't score against Wiggins.
Yeah.
And it got to the point in game 6, you really seen it like, oh, he really can't score against him. No.
Yeah.
And everybody was trying to challenge me, talking about Jason Tatum is better than Jaylen Brown. No.
We've had that conversation many times. I still think Jaylen Brown is better than Tatum.
Yes.
That's just something else.
It's funny. I've heard, you're not like the second or third person I heard say that. I don't agree. But I've been hearing people say that. I don't know why it is.
Well, so what makes him stand out more than only thing that makes him stand out to me is because he light skinned.
In size, he's a little bit taller.
Yeah, he's a little taller.
Y'all being disrespectful because see, I've heard this since the finals is over. People saying I told y'all Tatum wasn't a superstar, number 1. I'm like,
we're not saying he's not.
He's dope. He's good.
We're not saying he's not a superstar.
So if you were a GM, what you're telling me is you would draft Jaylen Brown before you drafted Jason Tatum.
I would.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't at all. I mean, I feel like I feel like Tatum, he do everything better. He's a better shooter. He's a better 3-point shooter, mid-range shooter. He's taller. Brown might go a little harder to the basket because that's just
that's his game. That's his game. Yeah.
And Tatum is so skilled where he ain't got to just put his head down and just go because he got counters. You cut him off, he can spin, he can step back. He got more skill. He more like of a Kobe kind of mold than Brown is.
But me personally, I feel like Jaylen Brown is better due to the fact that he has a better arsenal than Jason Tatum does on the offensive end. I think that's where we disagree in that because I feel like the way he moves and his footwork is untouchable. When he hitting it, if he doing the pivot move, or he's still gonna make a move and he gonna make a shot. So I just feel like that. And the reason I say what I say is because Wiggins, it was numerous times Wiggins switched on Jaylen Brown and couldn't stay in front of him. That's the only time. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
I understand that Jaylen kind of makes some of those heady plays and at times might be a more complete player, but I see some of the Mamba-like aspects. Kobe used to work with him when he was, younger in the league. I just think it's one of those situations where you got to learn, and that's really why I picked Golden State, because I felt like in those pivotal moments where you have to take advantage of certain situational basketball and stuff and coming out in the third quarter and knowing how to close somebody out or get up 3-1, I felt like Golden State had been there, done that, kind of experienced everything you can experience as a team, at least that core group, and that's where maybe Boston's youth would show up, and it did to me.
Right. And I said that, I felt Golden State was going to win. I kind of was pulling for the young guys in Boston, but I already said that Boston's going to make mistakes. All the turnovers they had. Tatum alone had what,
I think the last 3 games we averaged 20 turnovers.
And that's the only thing I will say that Jaylen Brown does. He turns the ball over a lot. Yeah, he does. That's his problem.
But I told Al, we're going to end it on this, though, because I told Al, what did I tell you, Al? Didn't I tell you I had a dream after Game 5 that I was watching Golden State celebrate? Right. I told him this. I told him, was that Saturday? Yeah, I told him Saturday. I was like, no, I had a dream. Usually when I had dreams like that, I'm like, oh, I know this is reality now. It's getting ready to happen. It was like a real big deja vu for me.
Yeah. I just had a dream that they were going to remain tied with the 17-time NBA World Champion.
Here you go. That's all y'all worry about because y'all at home. Y'all was at home. Y'all had to watch.
That's all I believe. So we're going to backtrack it in a minute and get back to, some Bearcat basketball talk. But again, got to take advantage of having NBA vet in here. DJ, there's always these GOAT discussions, around basketball. And a lot of times I think people don't understand that you can't always compare eras or if guys are a different type of players. One guy is more of a distributor. Another guy is, a stone cold killer scorer like, Mike or Kobe. Yeah. But it's still fun to have them. And like I said, we're going to have this discussion with somebody that actually played against all 3 of them. How about that?
Okay.
So one of the specific questions I want to ask, you guarded all 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
And they had to guard you as well. I want to throw that out there.
Yeah, well, I guarded an older Mike, but I mean...
You got the Wizards Mike.
Yeah, he still had 28. But.
Okay.
Still Mike numbers.
40. Yeah, 28. Yeah.
Still Mike numbers.
So the disclaimer, the Wizards Mike, but in your opinion, who was the most challenging to guard?
Kobe, because Mike was older. Now, if I had to guard Chicago Mike, I would imagine that would be probably more challenging. But Kobe was probably the hardest person for me to guard.
What about LBJ?
LBJ is the funny thing about that is I actually guarded Kobe pretty well because I'm such a fan. And, I just...
So you watching it?
I knew a lot of the stuff.
Watching the moves.
LBJ was so strong, right? And he's not going at you like one-on-one like them guys. He called it for a screen, and he coming at you full speed in transition. So if I guarded him in a half court, I was probably a little easier. But Mike and Kobe, they trying to score on you. They're going to catch the ball in the scoring position. They're scoring. There's no screen involved. They're just scoring on you. And
they making the move.
Yeah, they're making a move.
And that's all you're dealing with is what you gonna do. You by yourself, you on an island.
Yeah.
You got to pick your boy.
Coming from a basketball player, when you're on that island, they say ISO, that mean clear the part like the Red Sea. So, I
got this picture. I'm guarding LeBron, and it's like I'm holding on for dear life. Like he's posting me, and I'm pushing him with my arm like this, but my back foot is like sliding because he's like 260. I'm probably 205.
He's a human tank.
He didn't. I remember that play. He didn't score. He just kind of turned around and like went up, bowled me in my mouth, and I got the foul call. But it wasn't like. Well, with Kobe and Mike in that situation, like you don't know what Kobe gonna hit you.
Mm-hmm.
You take away that, he doing that. He got 3 or 4 counters.
That's what Q Richardson was talking about on Knuckleheads podcast.
Yeah.
He said, "Man, guarding Kobe was like being in the Matrix."
It's a different level of so like being a basketball player and being out there. You used to guys having the first or the second move, but when a guy go in the chamber and he get the third and the fourth, and then he might have a fifth move, and it's just like.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm ready for 1 and 2, but the 3, 4, and 5 punch, that's where it get difficult. It get real.
How good of a defender you are. Even 3, if you can get to 3, because some dudes, like Brian, for instance, as skilled as he is, he never really had to counter that much because once he go downhill, if you're in his way, he just pushing you out the way and just
it's like you out of the way at that point.
So he didn't even have to do step backs and spins and up and unders and all that stuff. But Kobe. Man, you cut him off, and you cut that off. It's like he might spin the other way, shoot left-handed. You don't know what Kobe can do.
He said he going another direction. He was like, wait, I thought, well, no.
It was unbelievable. He was the best player in the league when I was playing, and he still got better every year.
Wow.
That's what's up.
So, in saying that, and you one of those people that God gifted exceptional 1% talent to. So I'm sure coming up, probably since elementary school, you were used to being the best player on the court, right?
Well, shoot, I didn't even play that young for real.
Really?
I never grew up playing on like PB teams and all that. I didn't play till like the 8th grade.
Wow.
I played around the neighborhood and with the older dudes, and I was just trying to get on the court with those dudes.
But you played varsity as a freshman, right?
I played varsity as a freshman because my 8th grade year I won it. Well, my little middle school title, and then I grew some inches. And then I'm still a guard. I've always been a guard. Next thing you know, I'm 6'8", 6'9", and I'm still a guard, which was rare back then.
You stole my gift. You stole my height.
Some people get blessed, some people don't, bro.
I'm still sitting here.
Like, I get mad all the time. If I was 6'4", I'd be the league.
Right. I was just saying that the other day. If I had my son's abilities, because I know my son gonna be 6'6", 6'7",
right? Because
he only 6 years old and he already passed. He getting ready to be in my chest. So I'm like, oh man, if I had these abilities.
And you know what's funny? This guy is the guy that comforted me. I was in 7th grade. He was in 8th grade. I was a little worried about UC going into your freshman year because I'm like, we're losing the helicopter, losing Michael Horton in the backcourt. A few guys that had been there for a few years. I was like, man, what's it going to look like? And y'all got to remember, even for a sports guru like me, this is before YouTube and all of that stuff. So all you had was Sports Illustrated or what came in the paper. He opened the Sports Illustrated. It was my Sports Illustrated. And he flipped to a picture. I think y'all started ranked number 3 in their poll. And he showed me you were in there. I already knew about Kenny because I know about all them New York guards. Got a connection to Jamel Thomas and all them back in the day. So I was like, okay. He's like, he the truth, huh? Didn't take long to see.
Nope, didn't take long.
You came there with the NBA King of the Court tattoo.
I got it while I was here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
First tattoo was
because I remember Dickie V saying that, like, oh man, he's thinking about the NBA already. It's like,
that's funny because when I got that tattoo, I mean, the basketball, it wasn't even a basketball. It was like a gun in the hand of it. I changed the gun into like the basketball.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be the type of basketball it was. I didn't want to put Spalding on there.
Right.
So it wasn't even supposed to be like I'm going to the NBA. That was just a type of basketball.
Well, see, because I remember when we talked a few years back and I asked you, I said, so what made you make that decision to come to UC? Because you could have, and that was at the time where you were allowed to go straight out of high school. And if I'm not mistaken, I remember you telling me, well, that was always the plan for you, but they told you that you needed to get stronger.
Yeah.
So at the time, there was no better basketball program to go to. And I would argue still, if people pay attention, you know, to go to build up strength.
Yeah.
So with that said, you got on campus, you coming in there, it's Kenyon Martin, it's Ryan Fletcher, you know, it's people that's eating that weight room.
Yeah.
What was that like? Can you describe your first welcome to college moment as far as basketball is concerned?
It was just a big. I mean, I've been trying to do weight training years prior because, like you talked about, I was preparing for the NBA since I was like a sophomore.
Yeah.
Going to college was never even supposed to be in the plans for me. But then, I mean, I'm still a slim dude. When I came here, obviously, we lifting like football players. You know what I'm saying? Them Kenyon and them guys, they throwing weights up like it ain't nothing. I wasn't weak, but obviously I wasn't as strong as those dudes.
Right.
I definitely got stronger. I didn't gain any weight. I still was the same weight.
Just kind of like toned, basically. You just got toned.
It was really...
Got some more abs.
Right.
Got a couple more pieces on the arm. That's about it.
And gave the NBA scouts a little peace of mind. Like, because they know if I'm coming here, because another thing that came up a lot was at first, it was like the game comes so easy to him. Mm-hmm. Then it turns in, he's not playing hard. I'm like, well, first it was easy. Now I ain't playing hard. Right. So me coming here, they know I'm getting stronger. They know I have to play hard for Hugs. So just to give them some peace of mind, because obviously, I mean, them things were true. I had to play my butt off here. I had to lift weights. The skill was already there. The measurables was already there.
Mm-hmm. I always laugh because we talked about this off the record. I watched Kmart's interview on Knuckleheads podcast in entirety. And like we know this because we grew up here. We all, UC basketball fanatics. But to actually hear him say and confirm, like, there was some stuff that went on at Hugs practice that just should never be said. I think Ruben Patterson said that. Yeah. And Kenyon was like, yeah, you can say that. Yeah. It's like, stuff that probably would cause Hugs to lose his job. We obviously ain't going to get into none of that. No. But like, can you just describe to the general public who does not know what a practice was like with Bob Huggins?
He just gets on you. I mean, my senior year I went to school at Maine Central Institute MCI. A coach called Max Good was similar to Hugs.
You was up there with Max Good?
Yes.
Wow.
So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So that was supposed to be like my college. I was supposed to go straight from there. So playing for Max Good made it easier for me to play for Hugs. Had I came right from Maryland, my school there.
He terrified kids in high school.
Yeah.
Terrified kids.
Yeah, he's might be actually a little worse than Hugs.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Worse than
I've
Hugs?
heard stories.
Wow. I'm in Pittsfield,
heard stories,
Maine.
yeah.
You're in Pittsfield, Maine. You have nothing. We live in a dorm with this guy. But he's like Hugs, whereas though he going to cuss you out. Man, I don't give a F of you ain't number one player, nothing. You ain't gonna be nothing to him. Yeah, he gonna go at you every day.
Jeez.
But then after that, he loves you. Like Hugs. Hugs get on you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
After practice, he loves you. And that made it easier for me to come here and play for Hugs. So practice, he's on you. He let you yell back at him. Like some guys kind of, he had it in with some guys. Guys that yell back at him and cuss back at him. I was too cool for that. I ain't never do that. But he invites it. But
I felt like that was
get on the line.
I felt like that was certain guys because I felt like you saw
even
it a
with
couple
Tony
times.
Baloney.
Tony Baloney
was another one.
on here.
Shout out my guy below.
Shout out Baloney.
Yeah,
was one of them that would test Hugs, but I felt like Kenyon earned that. You know what I mean? Like the way he came in, the way he listened to Hugs and developed into the player he was. It was actually funny watching him because, like, if you didn't know UC basketball in their history, you'd be like, he's talking back to the coach. Like, no, they're just talking to each other and they're passionate.
Yeah, it wasn't just Kenyon, I mean, other guys, he gave you a chance to say what you had on your mind. Then after that, get on the line.
Right.
Get out of practice. I mean, he kicked Fletch home. It was
I was just getting ready to say
Donald or Fletch. He kicked one of them home on a might have been the Oklahoma game.
That was Little. Y'all didn't have Little that game.
Yeah,
it was Little. Y'all ain't had him that game.
He sent Donald home.
Shout out D Little.
We'd be 2.5 hours in a practice, and then
he don't like something.
He don't like something. Everybody get that foul. I want to see y'all here at 5 in the morning to finish up the practice. And
when I tell y'all, even when I did my little stint in college in Miami. 5 o'clock is just terrible. It's terrible. It is torture. That's torture, and coaches know that.
Well, we know that's why I didn't last up at University of Toledo, walking onto that program.
Yeah,
due to them 6 a.m., 5 a.m. workouts.
It's torture because your body ain't even woke yet.
Bro, coming from playing at Central State and my short stint up at UC, them knocking on your door 4 in the morning, get up. What?
Oh my
it's still cold outside. And we play football, so it's that transition where it's still cold.
Yeah.
So we getting up, it's still ice on the ground. Run.
But see, you ain't felt cold till you get that.
Oh yeah, that lake water different.
That UT
going up there where he was at, that lake water is different.
At least you got somebody knocking on your door.
Yeah, it's over.
Please show up.
That's how we was. That's how we was. Yeah, it was the same way.
It was late to like a 6 a.m. weightlifting joint one time. We ran the whole football stadium. Early in the morning. It was never late again.
Right.
We did it at Hughes. I did it in high school. My school was right across the street. We going over there every day. We run a straight street in high school. So I'm like, I said, I don't understand how we were so terrible. All the running we did in high school.
Yeah. You still got coach.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So while we talking about holding guys accountable and getting them ready and instilling that toughness, that's part of what you do now as director of player development, at least. Looking at guys.
Congratulations to you. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Well deserved. Getting guys ready, allowing them to continue their growth as players once they get to UC. Wes Miller brought in Sage Talentino, Josh Reed, and my main man, D. Skillings from Philly. Mm-hmm. And, I was messaging him, like, man, when's he going to get there? I was waiting, chomping at the bit. We talked about this a little bit off the record, but not just the young guys, but overall since summer workouts have began, how do you like what you see? How do you feel about, the way guys have come in, their readiness to play?
I got questions, too. I'm going to wait, though. Go ahead.
Nah, them guys are working. We got good problems. We got a lot of talent on that team. Sage has been way ahead of schedule. I personally thought Sage was going to be a project this year, but Sage.
I did too, because I thought he was a little light in the chest. Thought he was going to put on some weight.
For sure.
He's put on weight. He's playing his butt off. He's using his size. He's playing hard. Sage is way ahead of schedule. Josh, who I felt like didn't get talked about as much as everybody, and Josh tough, though. Josh been playing as good as anybody.
Yeah, Josh tough.
Yeah, Dan just got here. Dan got a few practices in. And, Dan is just super skilled, super talented. He always want to be in the gym. He's always trying to work. We got some real good young guys in there. And then the portal guys that transferred, Landis Nolly, is going to be a serious problem.
That's the kid from Memphis, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a serious problem. I don't think even though he played well at Memphis, I don't think with all that talent, he got a chance to really show all the stuff he can do. Because I thought he was just like a shooter.
He can handle the ball.
Yeah,
he can handle.
He's defending.
He does a lot.
Leader. He's been great. From Illinois, Rob Finney. What they said he was.
See, that's the one I don't know about. I'm like, I heard about him, but I don't really know too much about him.
Yeah, he a dog. He just comes in and just does his job. Defends. He locks guys up. Defends the ball. Makes.
You need that. Plays. You definitely need that.
Need that.
What about my vets though? David DeJulius, JD, coming back. How do they look?
They've been on a different kind of focus. Like they've been really killing them dudes.
Oh, he got a chip on his shoulder right now.
Yeah, they've had a good year last year. Dave just trying to make it better. He hates losing. He's super competitive, and that's what I'm saying. Those are just the problems we have. All these dudes.
Positive problems.
Yeah. All these dudes are really, really good. Shuey has been great. Micah Adams-Wood. He's been great. He's been super
now, see, he was one that I wondered, because you guys had a little, I won't say mass exodus, but there were guys that, made the decision to leave. The program's going in a different direction. You're already seeing it in recruiting. We're starting to get back to what I would consider, UC level talent, not talking down on anybody or anything, but it's good to hear, because he actually started his career off, I think, better than maybe he's performed the last 2 years. I don't know if it was a comfort thing or going through two different coaches. So I
really think that's what it was. It was the going through multiple coaches. He didn't know how to adjust.
Yeah.
But now he's starting to get back to focusing on his game and what he needs to do. Yeah. So I really think that's the major thing about him, because he was like, he kind of was lost for a little while. I ain't even gonna hold you. He was lost.
For sure. But I think he knows that, and he kind of, had to look in the mirror and say, he needed to do better. And so far he's been focused. He's been nailing his shots. He's been getting in.
He got a pretty shot, man. That shot's pretty, man.
He's a talented kid. He just got to put it together. And I feel like he's in the right mindset now. You know, because last year, you know, he got him and Saunders, and you know who was going to start. Obviously, he got the job starting. And he played a lot, but now, I mean, even Rob, I mean, them dudes, they're going to have to both play. But I don't think he's as worried like last year, worried about, you know, how much he's going to play, is he going to start. He's just going out there and just playing.
So I'm going to say it now. What do you think y'all can do? I know sky's the limit. I don't want the sky's the limit, none of that. Sugarcoat me. No, do you feel like y'all can compete to that point where y'all winning the conference and doing some damage in the tournament?
Are we going back to the NCAA tournament? That's what I want to know.
You know, we just want to get in the tournament. You know, it's hard to try to predict what we can do when you got so many 6 new players. You know, and while they all can play, a lot of information will be thrown their way that may be different from things that they was doing wherever they came from. So they're gonna have to soak up all this information. Everybody got to get on the right page, and you know the staff still learning each other. We got a year under our belt, and we feel good, but we really got to see what we got. You know, we got, like you say, a lot of guys that's gonna play minutes that wasn't here last year, and the guys that were here that's gonna play, you know, they've all been playing really well. Obviously, that's why they still
here. Yeah, for sure.
And we adding in new pieces, and I mean, who knows? I don't know how that's going to take away from somebody else's role. You know, like DeJulius, he might not need to average 15.
So
he might need to average 20. You don't know.
You never know.
It just depends on how the guys step up.
So my thing is, I'm a high school coach. I coached high school for 10 years. I got that under my belt. My thing is, how are the adjustments going to happen with these players transitioning in? Because you got all these transfers coming in.
Yeah.
What's going to be the next move for y'all to adjust these transfers to the guys that are there now?
See, that's what we doing now. That's why I'm dressed like a coach. That's where I just came from. Like, I don't know right now what other teams are doing in the summer. Some teams just, guys go out there and get some shots up and go play 5-on-5. Nah, we out here working. We putting in, our principles. We putting in little stuff that they gonna need that's gonna help them once the training camp starts and we start to get into it. They'll already be familiar with a lot of the stuff that we gonna do.
They're already being routed to know where they supposed to be, what's going on.
Well, somebody believes in the movement because there was a pretty significant commitment that the program received, and Mr. Rayvon Griffith, committed to the University of Cincinnati. He won a state title with Taft High School here. Shout out Cincinnati Public Schools.
Shout out to Rayvon as well.
Yes.
As he transitions to Arizona as well. So
yeah, had a lot of people like Nate worried. I'm like, man, it's just prep school. And in fact, you were one of the people that I used as an example. I said, DJ still came. That was slightly different, scenario, but it happens. I just think he's done all he can do at Taft High School. Right. I know that UC is in the running for 5-star point guard Isaiah Collier, which wherever you at, be it on campus, you're at your crib, you're going to hear me hollering when he commits to the University of Cincinnati.
For sure.
Because I'm waiting.
That'd be dope.
That'd be huge.
I'm waiting on it, and I know UC will be back. I don't want to belabor the point too much, but I also want to transition and get to a couple different things. Also, y'all that don't know, Brotha DJ is a huge football fan, too.
I am.
One of the first questions.
Please don't say you're a Cowboy fan.
No, he's not a Cowboys fan.
He can't be a Cowboy fan. That's like disrespectful. You don't like the
ain't gonna.
That actually ain't true because almost half of DC is Cowboys fans.
That's great. Yeah.
It's like
for sure. That's why I said what I said. I said, I'm praying you ain't no Cowboy fan.
I grew up in a house like my family members, many Cowboy fans.
But I attribute that to, like I always joke with Al, a lot of our parents grew up in the 70s. They was either Steelers fans or Cowboys fans. Yeah,
because they ran the
I never understood the Steelers fans.
My dad is a diehard Cowboy fan.
Cowboys and Steelers fans are all over the country.
Yeah, man.
Just ran through.
That's why I said what I said, because I know exactly where he been in.
Yeah.
Please tell me your family was at least going
that
some
game
other
in
way.
the bars in D.C. when they played the Cowboys.
they got their own bars down there, man.
I'm setting it up though, y'all, because I know who he's a fan of, and that's where I'm going with this. So if you don't know, Brotha DJ is a New York Giants fan.
Yeah.
And that's what I asked him and both Kenny Satterfield when I met them. And those answers kind of threw me out because I'm like, man, you from D.C. and you like the Giants? I said it.
They down the street.
Brother Kenny is from NYC and he's an Eagles fan, man. I'm like, wow.
They're all down the street. All down the street, literally.
So what's your expectations for Big Blue this year? David Jones. Hopefully you get my man Saquon Barkley back healthy.
Do you have expectations?
Oh wow.
It's rough right now, man. I am happy with our draft for the first time in a while.
Yeah, y'all had a great draft.
Y'all
had a good draft.
Man, we had a good draft. I was proud of those dudes. But Daniel, man. I mean,
You don't trust him, just say it.
I don't fully. Like sometimes it's like, oh man, he all right.
He did something today.
Then it's like, oh man. But then guys,
He won me a fantasy game, so I can't even give him.
Guys stay
He
hurt.
won me what?
He needs some blocking, and the guys stay hurt. So, I mean, if we had a chance to go at a good veteran, I would have loved that. But
So is Saquon gone next year? Because you know that contract up.
yeah, no. But he stayed hurt. He's like so talented.
That don't mean
And
nothing.
he stay hurt.
That don't mean nothing. Somebody go pull that boy from over there where
Somebody is. I wouldn't be mad if we didn't pay him.
So do you wish the Bengals well, even though you're not necessarily a Bengals fan?
I do. I wish the Bengals well. I mean, because I got some dudes that I like on that team that I'm cool with. And I don't know if you knew this. My football team is since like early 2000s has been LSU. So got Joe Burrow and Chase.
Joe Burrow, yeah. And Chase,
So,
man.
That's big for me.
Well, we know where Joey B started, but I know where he finished down there in the body.
Don't take credit for it. Don't take credit for that. Y'all screwed him over, and he went to a better school.
He did
had the best college year ever.
He didn't deny it. The man graduated from my state university. Hey, this how you know Joe B is split down the middle. What did he say in them Super Bowl intros? Joe Burrow, Athens High School. He ain't want to offend nobody.
How could you offend anybody? You just had the best college year ever at LSU.
I ain't gonna lie. You can't offend nothing about that.
It is what it is. He had one of the greatest seasons ever, but he's an Ohio kid, so he's gonna walk that line.
Yeah,
he's from Ohio.
Sure.
He's gonna walk that line, even though he may,
he gonna be safe about it.
Lean towards LSU because that's where he won at. He's still an Ohio kid.
Man,
Look, I'm not gonna claim it because we didn't give him opportunity to get on the field.
Do nothing.
JT Barrett, who I'm not going to, beat down on here, was not my favorite Ohio State quarterback. In fact, I make a lot of Buckeye fans mad. Like when I make my top 10 school history list, he's not on there.
Okay.
I would even choose a person like maybe Stanley Jackson over JT Barrett. It's my list.
Yeah.
It's yours, but Jesus, Pete.
Yeah.
He's top 15, but I feel like if you stay anywhere for 5 years, you should put up numbers, right? And Dwayne Haskins, God rest his soul.
Knights of Columbus.
Dwayne Haskins still is a single season Big Ten leader in passing yards and touchdowns. So it's not like
God rest his soul.
That didn't work out either. Joe went where he had an opportunity and he made the best of it.
That's what I wanted when we drafted Daniel Jones. I wanted Haskins.
Yeah.
That'd have been a perfect fit there, though.
And he was a Giants fan because I know, didn't he grow up like...
He grew up in D.C., I think.
No, he was in D.C.
He spent some time, I think, in Jersey before he moved to that Maryland area, I believe.
Like I said, they're down the street, so...
Yeah, I mean, he was a Giants
They
fan.
all in that area, so...
It's the DMV.
it's the DMV. You got three states in one area.
Right.
Yeah, people don't understand how key that is, though, like where you go.
Yeah.
And the coaching staff that's in place at that time, ownership, everything, GM, all that stuff matters.
Yeah, that's sure. That's for sure.
Really determine whether you're going to reach your full, potential. So everybody went, different directions. But, of course, I wouldn't trade Joey B for nobody right now. He's got that it factor, whatever it is. It's unexplainable.
You know you want to know how real the it factor is? Other quarterbacks are terrified about his it factor. That's how real it is. Yeah, man.
He's a leader. He's a leader that comes.
I got to buy my Snoopy shirt because he is legit Joe Cool.
Whether you win,
for sure.
win, lose, or draw, he's the leader. You know where it's coming from. He's gonna.
And he don't want to lose.
Exactly.
And he ain't about to lose. Yeah. He don't want that.
Exactly.
No moment is too big for Joe. That's what
it's
I love.
really
And although he doesn't necessarily verbalize it, like you could tell that he takes stuff personal because he's been told his entire life he wasn't good enough. Whether it was coming out of high school, I want to go to Nebraska like my uncles. Oh, they told him he wasn't good enough to go there.
Yeah, that
goes to Ohio State. They like,
that throws me off.
You can hold the clipboard.
Wanting to go to Nebraska.
They like, you can hold the clipboard.
And you said, no, this ain't for you. What?
That's crazy.
They like, you can hold the clipboard, but we're going to get this to JT. You know what I mean?
You go learn today.
That probably worked out in his favor.
It did. It definitely worked out in our favor.
Going to Nebraska ain't where you want to be right now anyway. No. So it probably kind of worked out in his favor.
But here's the thing, though. Like, that was coming out of high school. When he was transferring out of Ohio State, he wanted to go back to Nebraska again. Scott Frost told him again.
Tell him no.
You're not good enough.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm glad he came to LSU because we've been in running school for so long. That's
man.
Had us playing old school, running football, learning from that. Them guys were just running. We have a quarterback.
But me and Alex always joke about LSU. Whenever y'all have a quarterback, y'all do damage.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like every year y'all have a quarterback.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether it's, what was your boy that won the national championship?
Matt Mock.
Matt Mock.
Him, you had and it's like
Matt Mock. God, we ain't heard that name since.
You know, whether you know your boy who went to the Raiders, he didn't have a good NFL career. He was a dog.
Oh, Jamarcus. You're talking about Jamarcus.
Y'all have a quarterback, y'all do damage.
Don't forget Rohan Davey.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Rohan Davey too.
Had no good quarterback.
Wow.
Phillip Rivers' little brother, son went there. He never got on the field. Right. We started throwing the ball. We spread it out. I'm like, man. I ain't never seen him play like this.
And missed out on Cam. I watched the Pivot podcast and they said they missed out on Cam. Yeah. After he was
left,
leaving.
Blinn community college,
when he was he left the prep school. He was like, well, nah, I'm gonna go to Auburn. Auburn was on me. Yeah. He said LSU showed up one time. I ain't see him again. What? Oh,
that was a bidding war.
Yeah, it was definitely a bidding war for sure.
We can talk about stuff like that now,
sure,
because we got the Neil deals and stuff out there.
Yeah.
You know, his daddy almost got him in trouble. He let the cat out the bag.
Yeah,
what he say? He said it's gonna cost you this time.
Hey, man.
Oh, y'all Bengals fans?
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
me and Big John both got.
I'm kind of on the fence.
Okay.
I am a football guy.
Okay.
So
I'm a Bengals fan.
I grew up with him. He was a Cowboys fan back.
See, like I told you, my dad. I was.
I'm a
my
Bengals
dad,
fan.
Now that I've grown up, like I'm a football guy. Period. Like now, if you go to college, I'm a U guy.
DJ, I got a picture on the internet right now. I was 5. I had a whole Bengals uniform
Since we talk about spending money,
fell back from the Cowboys?
yeah, I fell back from him.
That's like cold over there.
Because
It is, bro.
Jerry Jones ruined my childhood. He messed it up.
He ruined it.
He ruined it, man. He ain't make it better. Ever since they got rid of.
You got 3 Super Bowls, man.
I got
We got 3 Super Bowls. When? What happened? After the coach from the U left, and Barry Switzer got 1 because of his guys. Mm-hmm. Once that happened,
That's
what
still
do you
your
do?
childhood.
What happened after?
But even lately,
You ain't keep it
Dallas
going.
have good players. They
Yeah.
just,
They
I
had
don't
good
know if it's
players.
the coaching.
But what have they
Jason
done?
Garrett stayed too long. It ain't his fault. He put together a good team.
He puts together everything.
I'd rather have Jerry. I know a lot of Cowboys fans don't like him because money is no object. You know, he will at least try to build you a championship team. Yeah. Maybe he meddles a little bit too much, but like he said, how can I meddle when I own the team? So
ain't too much meddling you doing if you throwing the dollars around. That's all I'm saying.
But what was your question, DJ, for the Vegas fan?
So I've seen a lot in preseason, like around the draft. Guys were a little upset that you guys picked Chase and not that offensive lineman. And then when preseason came, Chase had a few drops. And they was like, I told you so, we should have picked that offensive lineman. Did y'all feel that way in the preseason when y'all seen the first few drops?
We all said that.
Yeah.
We all said that. You blame the offensive line for a lot of our losses.
First of all, here's the thing, though. It was not the drops for me. And I'm going to let Big John go real quick, but I'm just summing mine up. It was watching Joe get his knee completely
dismantled.
Yeah. And knowing that was the Bengals' weakness going into the season is still not being addressed since Andre Smith and Whitworth got old. Like, we didn't have an offensive line. Mm-hmm. And I told people then, because I was on the fence of saying, maybe we need to draft Chase Young, because I thought he was the best football player in the draft.
Yeah.
I was like, no matter who you get, if you don't have an offensive line for him, it's not going to matter.
Right.
You know. So at the end of the day, that was my thing. Conventional football wisdom tells you to start up front.
For sure.
You get somebody like Penei Sewell. especially if you leave him at left tackle, which he played his entire life, footwork, everything stays the same. That's what I wanted. Because until the last couple years where you kind of see Miss Blackburn running things with the Bengals, and you can obviously see
and
the
she's
difference.
done amazing. Shout out to Miss Blackburn.
I wanted certainty.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought I was getting with Penei Sewell. I was like, protect your investment. I said, because Joe's not going to last like that.
Right.
And I'm glad they finally did this offseason because I certainly didn't want to see him turn into the next Andrew Luck. But I can admit, I was wrong. I was one of those people
I'm
that
about to
said
say, you was totally wrong because you said it.
Oh, I was pretty.
You said it. You was the first one. I'm on your post like, what are you talking about? We making
I was going at it with Vito.
Yeah, you was going. No, John, don't save him.
No.
He was going nuts.
No, I know he was, and I was going nuts. And I was right along with him. Me being a defensive offensive lineman guy, seeing him get hurt, I agree with everything he just said. I really ain't got much to say because he kind of hit all the points.
Yeah.
But seeing that, I wanted him to get Sewell. And I wanted him to get the guy from Clemson that they got. I wanted him to draft 2 linemen in the first 2 rounds. Yeah. I wanted him to get Sewell.
But we got to be realistic. We knew we weren't getting both.
We knew we weren't going to get both. I understand. I'm just saying what I wanted. Now, it worked out. Chase is a dog. I'm taking nothing away from him. But seeing that, okay, I'm going to take it back. It is funny. A couple years ago, it was all these DBs on the board for the Bengals. And they picked Jonathan Joseph. I remember calling Alex and calling my big brother, like, who the hell is Jonathan Joseph? I don't even know. Like, because it was Jimmy Smith. It was a whole bunch of guys on the board. I'm like, who is Jonathan Joseph? Now, he made a believer out of me.
I remember that year. Everybody was confused why they picked him up.
That's just like the same thing. Like, when they drafted Chase, like, we don't need him.
You know what?
We did need him.
But you know what? I will say that. Like, it's possible for more than one thing to be true at the same time.
Facts.
I don't think that type of football, like, thinking or logic was wrong, for the Bengals to still need. I mean, as good as Joey B is and got him to the Super Bowl last year, the very last play of the Super Bowl, what happened? Like, I think it was Coach Carr that said, your strengths are what get you to the playoffs. Your weaknesses are what get you eliminated. Mm-hmm. That was probably the worst matchup the Bengals could have as far as an opponent from the NFC because of their pass.
Because of the offensive line and the defensive line.
And
that team was built. They paid for that Super Bowl.
Yeah, they paid for that. No, literally, say it again. What'd they do?
They paid for the Super Bowl.
They paid for the Super Bowl. Where was the Super Bowl?
And the man that they
paid for the Super Bowl.
They paid for it, but that grown man in the
I'm
middle.
tired of seeing Matt Stafford on commercials.
That grown man in the middle is
man
different.
they paid the most for closed the show.
Yeah, for sure.
He's different.
That's his job. That's his job.
They paid for
But
it.
I'm tired of seeing Matt Stafford walking around on AT&T commercials with my daggone ring on. No. That should have been us.
The person that pointed to his hand was the guy that won the ring.
Yeah.
Let's just be real.
What about that graphic that was like torturous for Bengals fans where you see Jalen Ramsey on the ground again and Uno was open and if Burrow just had one more second.
To get the ball he was already looking at him. He was already looking at him.
I mean,
if you watch the video again, watch it. I want you to watch it in slow mo. If you see his eyes adjusted.
Yeah, it was to that same side.
It was going to that side.
It's always to that side.
I just feel like, honestly, looking back on that, I don't ever want to say losing the Super Bowl was a good thing, but like, had Joe done that, I could still see some dumb Cincinnati fans say, see, I told you they don't need to invest in the offensive line. So it's like, it was clear throughout the year. He got
for
sacked
sure.
The most times, I believe.
That Tennessee game should let everybody know.
That was
we need to
first
go.
playoff game. I was like, great season. I was already like good.
Yeah.
They just kept it going.
Yeah. They didn't even stop.
Yeah.
Didn't stop at all. It just kept going.
It's just conventional football wisdom. Going back to your guys, the Giants, when y'all won, y'all had a good offensive line, and y'all probably had the best pass rush I've ever seen between OC, Tuck, Strahan, Ratliff, all of them. Dogs. Like, that's you got to play up front. That's what the game is won.
Yeah. Well, that's what won them that Super Bowl. I'm going back to the one where this young man is a big Randy Moss fan, as am I.
For sure.
He ain't the only one.
I was still in Toledo at the time up at UT. And
he is not the only one. I am one.
He called me with like a couple minutes left when Randy Moss caught that back shoulder fade.
Yeah, I was like...
And he was talking so much trash. I didn't pick it up. He was leaving a voice. I'm like, John, first of all, I don't care about neither one of these teams. And I said, hold on. I said, Eli still got like 2-3 minutes, left. You talking kind of early.
I was talking kind of early. First of all, nobody expected that David Tyree shit. Nobody expected that. But it happened. But after it happened,
It happened, John.
After that happened, it happened. But after that, the football guy in me is, why is Ellis Hobbs on Plaxico Burrs? Mm-hmm. The fade is coming. The fade is coming. The fade is coming. I kept saying that for the past 20 minutes.
We said that, but what kept them in that game the entire game? Like I said, I never walked away from a Super Bowl, even in this past one, where I saw like a defensive line really abuse somebody's offensive line. Yeah. The way I did. I mean, there were too many guys.
It was only 4.
Strahan, O.C. Benayor, JPP. Like, it was just...
No, JPP wasn't on that team.
No, he wasn't on
it was Justin Tuck.
Okay.
And they gave it to Eli, the MVP. Justin Tuck should have got the MVP of that
For sure. He had 4 sacks.
He's a defensive end that can play 4 tackles and was in the middle causing wreck.
Mm-hmm. He caused ruckus the whole game.
So, y'all, I want to transition a little bit before we get out of here because I want to work some music in, which we do, sometimes on here. Really quick game, either or. And I want to know first, like, who did you listen to? What artists were, like, in your go-to, your playlist when you actually
Go ahead and tell him it's Lil Jon.
Stupid.
Jay-Z for me.
Was this Jay?
My man.
I listen to a lot of music, but Jay-Z always was at the top for me.
Okay.
What album? Let me ask you that.
All of them.
Reasonable Doubt.
No.
Reasonable Doubt is my favorite album.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Favorite.
Yeah, but then, I mean...
Can I Live? Can I Live? Godly.
And just put shuffle and just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I already know the answer to this one. If we go into the either or real quick to wrap up. So if I say Nas or Jay...
Yeah, it's Jay.
Okay. Next on that list. Pac or Big?
Pac. And that's hard. I said it quick.
I'm sorry.
I said it quick because I thought that is shocking.
That's shocking.
That is shocking because I'm a lyrics dude. And Biggie got better lyrics. But the way Pac, when he speaks, it's like you feel it. It's like, it's so...
I don't care.
So you're missing a couple episodes.
He almost got kicked off.
He almost got kicked off the podcast.
It's still big.
We did a not top 5 since everybody does a top 5, and he listed Tupac number 1, and I was really gonna suspend him for a week.
A lot of people
Here's the thing.
A lot of people
I have no problem with Pac. Yeah. I feel like if you say something wrong about Pac, like, well, I don't like him or I like this song better,
so you ain't
people
like
jump down your throat.
You mean you said him as like a not top 5?
Yeah, you missed that. Yeah, you missed that.
I'm not saying he can't be. I'm not saying he can't be 8. I'm not saying he can't be 8 or 15 or something. He just ain't in my 5. That's just my opinion. It's okay.
Yeah. All right, that's your opinion, but you about to get banned again.
Rock music right now hits hard.
Yeah, it's touching everything right now.
And it was so long ago.
It's touching everything. And back then we wasn't even thinking about this stuff. We so young, we wasn't thinking about it. But now we older, we like.
See, and I have a different love for Pac now because if you don't know this, I'm like the world's biggest Bad Boy Records fan.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, so you know where my loyalties was. Yeah. Especially as a little kid and not understanding really what it was and just hearing Hit 'Em Up in the backseat of my brother's Suburban. I'm like, oh, for real?
Yeah, that's how
because he said, like, and if you want to be down with Bad Boy, then you too. I'm like, okay. Like, so it took me getting older and really just listening to Pac and what he was like on and talking about. And really understanding and be like, man, this dude talking about stuff I go through, man. And just the movement. But to wrap it up, I only got a few more. Wayne or Drake?
Drake.
Ooh, I did not expect you to say that.
That's easy.
My man,
That's easy.
For sure.
Drake has been
I'm telling y'all was questioning me when I said what I said.
Yeah, because I usually refer to him as Aubrey on this program.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, that's his name.
Drake kind of catching up. Drake, before it's all said and done, I mean... It'd be hard for me to put somebody over Hov, but Drake goddamn making an argument.
Man, he making an argument right now.
I ain't gonna say all that, but I agree with you. I ain't gonna say all that.
No, he making an argument. That's all he said. He said he making an argument.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'll always be a Hov dude.
It sound good.
But everybody don't like this last album. They're talking about this the do music, but whatever else, but whatever. Dude can rap.
So wrapping it up, Scarface or Ice Cube?
Rapping? Face.
Okay. And I don't feel like there's a wrong answer on that one.
Relationship with Cube from the Big Three, but I mean, rapping Face.
Shout out Ice Cube. Yeah. He was in my top 5. Yeah. Not
Big
top
Three,
5.
Big Three situation, man. I'm proud of him, man. How he got that going, man. It's moving.
I love Cube. Great.
Yeah, man. He cool peoples from what I heard.
Master P or Jeezy?
Ooh, I don't even like that one.
Jeezy a better rapper.
But you felt P more.
But when I was young and P was putting all them albums out, had all the dudes.
The ball, the gangster, Caterpillar.
It was hitting harder because he had
Who
so
I
many
be?
dudes.
Your
Like,
neighborhood drug?
yeah.
What you
And then
mean?
when he grabbed Snoop and Mystical, it was hitting too hard.
Yeah,
but-
man, he wasn't missing, was he?
He just said-
wasn't missing.
Yeah, but he just said Master P. He ain't say like No Limit. So
Yeah, no, you
Jeezy
got
a better rapper.
Jeezy get a better rap.
and the ladies, though, we're going to switch it up to round it out. TLC or SWV?
Ain't different. I mean, SWV better singers. TLC had better music.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, that's a good
Brandy or
agreement.
Monica?
Monica.
Yeah.
And this is no disrespect to Brandy. Brandy sounded like she spoke a pack of cools when she said.
Now she done got worse.
You just
You know how many
tried
arguments I've had with
it,
people?
man.
I'm sorry, bro.
Okay.
I've had many arguments with people over this that they think Brandy is like the best singer
Yeah.
in the world. I'm like,
My
I don't
girl,
really-
one of them, and
I
it
don't
pisses
really
me
see
off.
it.
Like, no.
This girl I know that can sing, and she actually sings better than Brandy herself. I'm telling you, Brandy hit this note.
The
This note.
verses should have sold everything.
I said, bro, Monica sings way better than Brandy. It's
Yeah.
not even close.
And the last one, Brother DJ. Mary J. Blige or Erykah Badu?
Mary J.
Mary J. I would
Singing
like to agree
wise
on that one.
or songs? I say that. I ain't mean to drag it out.
I think both. I think both. I
Yeah, I'm
mean,
about to say you better stay in the both category on that one. That's too tough.
yeah, I mean, I like Mary J. better. I mean, Erykah got her stuff, but Mary J. got she's another one you could just put on. She got hit after hit
Yeah,
after
she
hit after
do got
hit.
hit after hit after
I
hit.
can't. Ain't a whole lot of Erykah Badu. that I
No,
listen to.
she kind of fell off too. Bro.
Yeah?
Now you said Lauryn Hill. Now we talking something different.
Okay. Miseducation and Lauryn Hill. Well, again, Brother DJ, you know, part of what I do on here is to, as you know, give flowers to guys that I grew up looking up to. Love to catch up with y'all, tell y'all story to maybe a generation that was not aware of it, with me being a sports historian, and definitely want to shine light on what you're doing currently at our alma mater at the University of Cincinnati. So we truly, all three of us, man, appreciate you for coming out, especially after practice, man. I know you're tired.
Yes, sir. Yes,
coming
sir.
out to mess with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, as usual, you'll be able to catch this episode on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Please check out at Factual Opinions Podcast on IG and Facebook. This is I Am Pharaoh signing out with the Brown, Bruce Wayne, Big John, Will West, the best, Nate,
You
and
know
the
it.
legendary DerMarr Johnson.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
We're
It's a
trying.
legend here.
Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. We'll try and do it better
Appreciate
next
you, bro.
time.